We're live with I was with TikTok with
Basically.
the post status happiness hour. We're talking about TikTok today. I'm so excited. I had been sitting on some information for quite a while about the fact that I have a contract to work with the amazing Darian Lusk, who is my guest today, about on TikTok for WordPress.org. And I have to tell you, so Darian, let's talk a little bit about how this all went down. I'll talk from my perspective. You can talk from your perspective, and I'll tell you all about how scared and nervous I was about all these meetings. And I had no idea what was going to happen. I was like, I'm one of those people that says yes, and then figures it out afterwards.
Well, I'm so excited to dive into our meet cute. I mean Sparks
Yeah.
flew, and it's just
Hearts,
been
big hearts for Darian.
big hearts all around. We're about 3 weeks into having launched the account, the at WordPress on TikTok account. Please subscribe, follow. And I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
And
thank you for joining me.
yeah, thank you so much. And I'm just so excited to talk about what we've been doing,
Yeah.
talk about, maybe give some inspo to other people if they're looking to get into TikTok a bit and are maybe scared of, what it is or having their socials taken by the powers that be or, or don't know where to start. So I'm just so happy to be here. So thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So for anybody who doesn't know, Darian, I don't remember your official title. I want to say social media manager, but I could be wrong for WordPress at Automatic. And shortly after I was laid off from my previous position, I get a text message from the amazing Brie McDeedy. And she says, "Hey, I'm wondering if you might be interested in doing some influencer marketing." And I was like, okay, first of all, I think it's funny they call me an influencer because here I am just sitting in Western New York, living my, kitty litter in the background, all the stuff. But I was like, yeah, I'm always open to conversations. Let's talk. And she set up a meeting with you and me and her. And so we get on a call, and I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know if he's judgy. I don't know if he's but now we're practically best friends.
Oh my God, more than practically.
Yeah, exactly.
Locked in. We're so locked in.
I love it. I love it. And we are having so much fun with this. Originally, you all didn't even know where you were going to put me. You're like, well, we've got several channels. We're not sure where to position Michelle. And so we decided, you all decided, hey, we're going to do this for .org, which seemed a little bit funny because we're not necessarily driving a lot of revenue, right, through .org, except for peripherals for the community at large, for, Woo and everybody has their own, but just getting into WordPress for people means getting into our ecosystem, which is good for everybody. I am not a top of funnel person because I have a lot of people already in. So I'm like a mid funnel person. And it's like, what are we going to do with Michelle now that she said yes? But we have had so many meetings. First of all, we laughed through all of them, which I love. I will say, I don't know, I'm a Gen Xer. You're probably like a Z, or I don't know what they call everybody nowadays. But
thank you so much. I'm running with the Z. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm a 33-year-old Gen Z. I've got my waboo. I'm like, totally, yeah, I'm a Gen Z.
Okay, so we got X and Z, and I'm like, so I come up with this list. First of all, I don't fit into any of I don't organize the way you do, and I'm so grateful you run with the way that I do things. But what was really funny is I come up with all these TikTok ideas. First of all, sitting and scrolling TikTok at night is now research. I love that I can call it research and not just a time suck. But I come up with all these ideas, and you didn't say no to any of them. You just said, oh, let's wait and see how that fits in, which is the perfect way to say, maybe Michelle. Or when I would take my daughter shopping, and I'd say, oh, I don't know, let's see. And she's like, let's see means no. but we're having a blast with it. So I'll step back. You talk a little bit about the whole vision and how you saw this whole thing kind of playing out.
So first of all, great intro. My let's sees are, we're gonna see, because I don't think you've ever given me the idea that I wasn't like, let's do it.
Right.
It's
That's
just
true.
been the best. We just have yes-anded each other from the jump. And yeah, like, I guess I could give a little context. I started at Automatic around 5 months ago, and yeah, I'm on the sort of cross-brand social team, running the socials, and we sort of have this initiative that I'm taking to kind of scale our brands in terms of their short form video presence. It's the content we're all seeing on when we're doom scrolling now. It's these, you know, grabby videos with the text on screen. They're very in vogue. And so, we were talking about what brands to sort of use as like uh, you know, uh, a statement of presence, sort of a proof of concept. And WordPress came to was like seemed very viable, and Michelle, you were the first name floated. Bree, who I work with, was like, we got to hit up Michelle for this. She's great. She's the mayor of WordPress, and it's like, and I love how you say.
I love that you said mayor and not grandmother. Thank you very much.
Of course, and I love how you are so humble to say you're not an influencer. Influencer can mean a lot of different things.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it's like I'm like me mansplaining, but to me, you are such a WordPress influencer. I'm looking at the WordCamp socials. It's like everyone wants their me and Michelle moment. I'm like, where's my me and Michelle moment? I'm like getting FOMO, and but it makes so much sense to have you sort of like lead this charge with me, and it's just it's like you said, it's been the best. It's been the best, and if you guys check out our account, I think Michelle, you've sort of taken this like role as content creator, and I've sort of taken the role of social media manager in some of the videos, and I'm really excited for like that on-screen relationship to develop. I think
we already had the GIF versus GIF conversation, and we decided it's GIF, so everybody else can just peace out, because we know.
We helped settle a very much trending topic last weekend. I'm really excited for like the storytelling of it all, and it's just been such a fun account to sort of try to scale and kind of run with, and it's just the best. I think that like Michelle, you're so like WordPress coded, and I'm very TikTok coded, unfortunately. And I think
it's a perfect marriage of
it so is awesome. Because like and you can cut me off at any time. I'm a yapper.
Well, one thing I was gonna say is so now I was in Europe. We don't have each other's phone numbers because I was in Europe first. So we've got we're WhatsApping each other, right? And now that I'm home, like my partner, my boyfriend, he's like, "Are you messaging Darian again?" I'm like, yes, we have ideas.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's same deal. My husband's like, I'm like, you have to see this TikTok live from Michelle. Like, you have to see this. You have to see the content. You have to follow the journey. But I have to say, like, as we're sort of, I think that we're sort of figuring out like what brands we want to pay attention to. I think we're going to start to scale Tumblr. Think like Woo, that could be down the pipeline for us too. Sort of picking like specific brands. But for WordPress, we've done something really bold, which is. We've done something really bold. It's never been done before, which is that we are posting a video every day. And this is something that we've stuck to 3 weeks running. And we're mapped out for pretty far in the future. And I have to say to anybody who's like looking to crack TikTok, and we could really get like into that, but this is sort of like part of the playbook. You need to be really out here. You need to be out here posting. And so that's been such a fun part of it, is just like we just like sort of hit the ground like sprinting, and it's just been
Mm-hmm.
so much fun. We're just like posting, hitting post.
And it's so much fun because, like, originally when we all sat down together and we're like talking about WordPress, I'm picturing in my head, like, and this is how you do this with WordPress. And this is like, and this is CSS, and like these little like educational moments. And I was starting to, I don't want to say panic, like I was a little sweaty under the collar going, I'm not a developer. Like, how am I going to move into this? Like, be all like, and I'm not the kind of person that's just like so stoic and whatever of those kinds of things. And when you and I first met after we were like, I signed the contract with all the things, you're like, we're going to have fun and we're going to do TikTok trends. And I was like, what? This is going to be a blast. Right. And so we both come up with ideas, which is really cool. And then like the very first one I did was just my voice. And it was like an airline attendant, a flight attendant saying, welcome to the WordPress dashboard, and kind of like walking you through the dashboard as though you were, you know, getting the buckle your seatbelt and stow away your luggage when you're on a plane. And one person messaged, like commented right under it, I know that voice, that's Michelle. And I was like, ooh, cat's out of the bag. And then we went into this whole like coming into WordCamp Europe. And I love that. I think it was Friday of WordCamp Europe. Like you messaged me, you're like, hey, we were wondering if you might do some TikTok lives while you're out there. Would you be open to that? And I'm like, heck yeah, that sounds like a blast. And then I'm like on my scooter running through the venue and everything. And like you, and let me just say, so that was fun to do it live. But what you have done with the videos that I send you, the way you like speed up some stuff and how you cut it, like you are a master at editing those features, because like it goes zoom zoom zoom, and then there's Bernard from Omnisend like doing the robot dance, right? And then it's like zoom zoom zoom, and then there's Joost de Valk like woo face big, and like you are the perfect editor. This is just a self-love thing. We're just
I know we're just like lifting each other up. I love it. You love to see it. I mean,
it's so much fun. Yeah, I'll put it back on the screen here in case anybody wants to take a look. It's just tiktok.com/@WordPress. And you can just search at WordPress if you're in TikTok to be able to see it.
You can. And so if anybody's looking for some actionable advice in terms of what are just me and Michelle like be like, we're so locked in. I would say when we were sort of conceptualizing like what the account would be, you know, we did do that. We did conceptualize it, so I think that was good. We sort of we created like a, you know, sort of a go-to-market plan, and also a sort of a content map for the first month, and like the story we wanted to tell. So I will say, like, there's a lot of like us editing and posting on the fly, but there was like a vision, which I think is a good way to go about like launching an account, is be like, what do I want my first month of content to look like? So for us, we were like, let's have it be like a launch theme where, and get this, because it's crazy. It's a wild play on words, but we're not only launching the account, but Michelle is launching off of the ground, flying to Switzerland. And so really clever stuff. And, you know, but so it was really fun, and we sort of planned around WordCamp Europe. And it's sort of like, I think that if you start from, I'm going to say it, if you start from video one and just scroll back up, I think it does like tells a story.
It starts to tell a story. It really does. And it doesn't just tell the story of, hey, look, Michelle's on TikTok on WordPress. It starts to tell the story of the WordPress community, because it really very quickly gets into not just, hey, this is WordCamp Europe and look how awesome it is, but the people of WordCamp Europe. And so do you remember how many videos I shot asking people like, what was your favorite thing? At least a dozen, maybe more. And the first 4 of those went up today. And like, I'm tagging people in them and posting it over on Twitter as well, or X, whatever we call it. And tagging people there. And unfortunately, TikTok's not available in every country of the world. So when people are like, oh my God, I can't see it, I have been downloading them and uploading them in comments so that people can see them on Twitter as well. And our goal at some point is to share those things out so people can see them. Because they're fun, and you see your friends and you see all of this stuff happening. I did not jump in the Rhine, but I got pictures of the Rhine. So if you want to see what Old Town Basel looks like, you can go and scroll through that as well.
Yeah, and I think this is good. I'm like, let's teach. Let's teach from what we've done in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Right. I was like, we're so good at this already. We're
Yeah.
such old hands.
Learn from us. But I will say, like, I think that for any brand, like, something I really enjoy so far is the balance of like, top of funnel, sort of like anyone scrolling, like if this is the first thing you see, you could maybe hopefully enjoy it, but also it also caters to and is sort of cultivating like a bit of the community. And I think that like two-pronged approach, I think it works.
Yeah.
It
It's
works.
very, very, very different from the WordPress.com TikTok and the Woo accounts. They are very polished, very highly edited, and in a good way. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but they're like little mini commercials of why you would want to use those brands. This is the cousin to all of that.
Unhinged mode, dark
so
mode, WordPress after dark.
What I love also is like, you know, I'm now like getting emails. I actually sent you one today that I know you subscribe to as well, of what are the trends? Like there's an email a week from this person who literally follows the trends, tells you what you should, what audios you should be using, what kinds of trends are happening, what hashtags, if you're using hashtags, that kind of stuff, which makes it just a ton of fun too. And yeah, it's been I know some of the ones I've recorded that we haven't put out yet, and you know which one is my favorite one. You know, it's the first one I sent you.
We have some irons in the fire. Like I have to say, we have some like really good content coming, and some series that I think are like some multi-part sort of types of content, which I'm really excited for people to see. And just some wait, but what's the favorite? Because I feel like I should be able to know this.
My mind, I know. It's the one with the Game of Thrones attached to it.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
And I don't remember when that one's coming out because it's not out yet, because we had other things out. I don't think it's out yet. But I think that one's coming up in the next week or two. It is my absolute favorite because it's like every web designer's nightmare. I once logged into a website that I had built for a church, and there were five plugins for the local weather. Okay, and I was like, because the church people had started to use their website. They had admin access. They owned the site. They could do what they want. And there were five. They were trying to figure out which plugin they liked better, but they didn't deactivate the others. They didn't delete the others, right? So there's 5 weather plugins for a local business. Now, if you live here, all you have to do is look out the window and you know what the weather is. So does a church even need a weather plugin? I would argue they do not. so
the church is like locked in on the weather. They're like, guys, we're actually AccuWeather sponsored church.
It was crazy. It was like there's not a Bible verse plugin on there, but there's 5 weather plugins. You know? So yeah, so it kind of plays my favorite one kind of plays into that whole how many plugins are on this website kind of idea.
So. I think that the web dev humor that's been a really fun itch to scratch for me, and itch I probably didn't know I had until I got this job, which is so fun. And I have to say, like, what's so great is like I feel like I will, like, in the most positive sense, like check you, Michelle, when I'm like, oh no, we should do like this. This is trending now. Like we should do this week. But then
we'll put off the ones that are otherwise, you know. But like, yeah, because if it's trending now, let's bump the other one.
I'm like, Cher and Future are singing this duet. It's the Sly the Family Stone, R.I.P. Sly. Different different strokes. It's became a meme. I'm like, we have to piggyback off of this meme. We have to trend jack this. And then on the other hand, with you, it's so great because I'll be like, oh, we need to make like a Gutenberg joke, and you'll be like, no, it's dated. I'm like, you know what? Love that. Like clock that. Like keep me in check. And that's
I
like,
love
yeah.
I love how in Slack somebody said, should we do the pineapple on pizza joke? And where everybody else was like, too soon, too soon.
We told the line, which I love.
Yeah.
And you touched on something that I think I wanted to speak on. Believe it or not, I just am a yapper. But it's sort of the polish of a lot of brand accounts, and I think it's sort of an epidemic, right?
Mhm.
Like, I definitely not, and I don't think this is like automatic specific by any means.
And we're not throwing shade at all.
No, because, well, I mean, I hope those. Well, this is what I'll say. Like, I think that there's a lot of brands that are trying to crack TikTok or short form video, and they go through production hell, and it shows. And by production hell, I mean you can tell that like a million marketing people like looked this over before it went up. And you'll see these videos from like Microsoft or Yahoo, and it'll be like somebody like at their standing desk being like, it's giving EOD or something, or they're like pandering a little bit. And I think that it shows the sort of number of cooks in the kitchen and the sort of brandness of it. Like, you can kind of sniff it out, right? You're like, I'm like, it's giving brand TikTok. And like, you can just imagine like marketing people being like, oh, can that person do like the giving again? Like, can they do giving one more time? Like, could we do a take 10 of it's giving? And I feel like, I'm like really ranting, but the point being, I feel like all the WordPress TikTok is like so not that. It's so like it's such a distilled pipeline, like from our ideas to a video going up, and we are so lucky to like have that sort of editorial freedom to like be able to just create something and post. And I feel like it shines through. Yeah. And I hope that like people resonate with that. It doesn't feel like, to me, I'm biased, but it doesn't feel like another brand account. This doesn't feel like just another brand account.
So what's interesting is when we first, like from our first meeting to like our fifth meeting, the first meeting we were like, have you all seen what Duolingo is doing with their account and how they are hitting all the marks? And then like literally like 7 days later it was like, okay, we're not going to do what Duolingo is doing.
No,
not with their account, but with their product, right? So that was a product issue that completely killed their account. And then suddenly they deleted all. It's true. And they ended up deleting all their really good videos. Like earlier this year, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm texting people. Have you seen the Duolingo thing? Like Duo's dead. Like who killed him? And then like Dua Lipa was like on it. Like there is so many people. And it was like, it like skyrocketed. And then it fell just as quickly. So we're looking to avoid that, of course.
We're looking to not do that.
Exactly. We learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah, we learn from that. Learn from Duolingo. I feel like, and I love to talk from a place of authority. I'm like, oh yeah, like take it from us. But I will say, like, I feel like the Duolingo gate on TikTok was like a big bubble burst moment of like, I feel like the culture shifted and people were like, wait, like these brands like that we think are funny, it's like it's giving desperate. Like it's like we're like, we need to be smarter than this. And like, I feel like that was a big moment of being like, wait, these videos are kind of corny.
Yeah. Well, something between the Nutter Butter account, which is completely unhinged and doesn't make, it's like an acid trip, and I've never been on acid, but I can only imagine what the movies describe as an acid trip, and Duolingo, like somewhere in between is our sweet spot, and that's what we're looking for sure.
I think so, and I'll say I think it feels authentic, and I really I think that's like a really, and that might just be me, but I feel like as opposed to a lot of unhinged accounts, I think that we're able to like it's not painstaking, and there's not
No,
this
it's
like giant
fun.
review process. And I think that
Mhm.
like that allows us to maybe not be giving like Duolingo or 2.0 or like what a lot of
Exactly.
these brand
Yeah.
accounts are doing, which it kind of it's sort of like it's definitely becoming like it's crowded. It's a crowded
Yeah.
landscape, and
It is.
I think that's a charm of what we're doing is it's really just us,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
what you see on screen is what's happening in the
Mhm.
production house, and I think there's
Exactly. What I love too is that like you're open to ideas. It isn't like, well, we've got the talent, whatever. We got the person who's going to do all these things for us, and she's just going to take direction, and we're going to tell her what to do, and that's the way it is. So it's a collaborative effort, a creative collaborative effort between us, and input from the rest of the team as well. But mostly it's you and me, kind of just having a couple meetings a week, coming up with the craziest
vibing.
ideas, right? And then and what I love about it is like I was in Europe all weekend, and so you asked me to do two lives. I did that. One was like through the vendor hall. The other the other was a little silly because it was great. I did the live for Matt and Mary's fireside chat into the Q&A, but not. I didn't bring my tripod because I didn't expect that I was going to have to create that kind of content. So I had to hold my phone still for an hour and 15 minutes. I think Automatic owes me a massage now. That's all I'm going to say on that one. But
Michelle,
also
we're culpable, and I feel terrible about this because it's an hour and change. You
right.
know, they're
Yeah.
going over. The Q&A is
They went
going over.
they went
And
over for
poor
like 15
Michelle,
minutes and I was like, "Oh, are they done yet?"
poor Michelle asked you WhatsApp me. You're like, here's I did the live went great. You're like, my arms hurt. And I'm like, oh, you're like on the
Silly.
front lines.
I'm
You
gonna have
know,
to hit the gym, I guess. I don't know. I've seen questions come up. We're gonna address the questions in a few minutes. So, Dave, I know you got a bunch of questions. I promise we're gonna come back to them. Um, but the other thing I wanted to say is I just had the idea to just walk around, well, roll around, and put my camera in people's face and say, "Tell me your name and what you liked best about WordCamp." And the first one was terrible because I forgot my microphone. I wasn't expecting to do that. And I will say that uh, Martine Reyes from Modular said, I have a microphone you can use. And so I walked around with her microphone. And that's why we got such great audio to go with those, like the 4 that went up today. And I'm excited because they're not even all in English. Like somebody who said, oh, I don't speak English so well. I said, so say it in Italian. Say it in your language. Say it in whatever language you want, because these are people I trust not to be like saying dirty words and things, of course, But it was so much fun to then send you like 15 videos. I'm like, hey, I got you tons of content. Figure out how you want to use it. But they're all like such positive people talking about some amazing things that happened over the weekend, and also just the WordPress community at large, of course, too. So that was pretty cool.
yeah, those are great. One of those went up today. We'll have more
Yep.
down the line, and I want to
Can I?
Oh yeah, let's go to enough from me. Let's go to some questions.
I want to say, before the question though, can we tease out the one that I surprised you with that you probably fell off your chair? Or should we keep that a secret?
I was beside myself. Let's just say we have we got the big guns. We have a video going out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, good.
We have a C-suite.
We do.
An elite.
Michelle's not afraid to get people's faces and ask for what she wants.
We have a great cameo tomorrow on the page, and what I want to say, I want to give you, Michelle, all the flowers because, well, first of all, just because of you as a human, like you brighten my day, and it's like the best. But
it's so fun.
It's so fun, and also like editorially, there's such good like on the fly, like you just crushed WordCamp, right? It's like I'm sitting here and then up goes this post breaking that WordCamp Europe 2026 is going to be in Poland. I'm like, that is so smart. Like that is like what we want this to be. Like we want this to be like.
Yeah, I didn't ask permission. I didn't tell you it was coming. I just filmed it and put it up in the moment.
That's like, I'm like, go off. And that was like so great because it's like that's what we want this account to be. It's like we want it to be irreverent, videos, but also like a place where you can, get caught up. And that's so it's great. It's the best.
So Dave is in the chat. Dave's awesome. He's got a lot of questions and some comments. We're going to put those up. We have a bunch of people watching. If you also have comments, questions, we want to know. I'll put them up on the screen. We're going to start walking through some of them. I want to say, so Dave's like, I just started scrolling through the TikTok videos. I'll watch them fully after the stream. Saw the lift off, which I thought was fun. And wondering, this is a good question. Also, a YouTube Shorts doom scroller. I love what we call ourselves doom scrollers, but this isn't doom. This is uplift scroller or something. We need a better term. Are we going to be uploading these to YouTube as well? Dave wants to know.
Yeah, thank you for the question, and thank you for your interest and for catching up. Yes, I think that we will be growing to YouTube Shorts and hopefully Instagram Reels, either on the main WordPress Instagram or maybe even like a dark mode offshoot down the line. I think so watch this space, because I think we'll definitely, because I know we got a comment on Twitter too that TikTok isn't available in certain places.
India, for example.
Yeah. So we want everyone to see our insane content. So yes.
And not only that, if I talk to anybody listening, if I talk on Twitter or any of the social media about a particular one and I put a link and you can't see it, just let me know and I will download it and upload it to that social platform as well on my personal account so that you can see those things, because they're pretty fun. Let's see. Okay, this is great. So Dave wants to know, what tools are you using to edit them? And since you're doing all the editing, I'm just going to finish my tea while you tell them.
Punt it to me. Love this question. Thank you. I love to speak on my methodology. So for videos that are not necessarily, I would say as much as you can, use creator tools. So if you're making a video for TikTok, take the footage, always shoot vertically. Rule 1. I would say take the footage, put it right into TikTok, and use TikTok to edit it. I would say use their title cards, use their music, because the SEO of it all likes that. I would say the same goes for Instagram Reels. Take that same footage and do the same treatment, but use Instagram Reels creator tools. That's a very good way to approach editing. What I use, aside from the apps themselves, I use Premiere. We have a nifty captioning for closed captions, open captions. We have a tool called VidCap, so our subtitles look the same for accessibility. And there's so many very cool editing tools now. I would say CapCut is great. It gives you a lot of templates that you can play around with and you can get ideas from. But I would say it's great to go right into the app to edit, and it's also good to have like a standby video editing program, because for something that's a little more complex, you probably want to use a real program.
So are you doing most of the editing on a phone, like phone apps?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you okay?
The WordPress TikTok right now has 20 drafts. And I'm like, if I drop this in water, or if I accidentally uninstall it, I'm gonna we're gonna be at square one. So
I mean, I'm logged in too, though. Let's remember that I'm logged in too, so maybe I can save us.
Yeah, we'll sort that later. But yeah, I'm in the app. I think that's the best way, at least for TikTok. Just be in the app, because it rewards you for using the editing tools of the app.
Yeah. And Dave's going to be looking into creating shorts. When you do, make sure you send us links, Dave, so we can take a look at what you're creating too. I would love to see what you come up with. I think it is a lot of fun. I mean, here we are like gushing over the whole thing because we're having a blast with it. It's like I was telling people, like, not only am I doing this, but I'm getting paid to do this. Like, when's the last time you get paid to have this much fun? Like, all the jobs I've ever had have been fun. Don't get me wrong, right? Like, I enjoy what I do, but this is a lot. This is another level of fun.
It is. I'm sorry to everyone who isn't doing exactly what we're doing. It is insanely fun.
It's so bad that you can't be us because us are fun.
Yeah, what can you do? We're just really lucky, really blessed.
Exactly.
But no, it's fun, but I think that's so. It needs to be fun because no, but really, it needs to be.
It's a social media platform, yeah.
It is, and I think when it isn't, like it shines through in the videos, right? Like you see those, and I feel like I keep coming back to this, but like I think that there's a deluge of brand accounts now, and I think that when it feels like this was such an ordeal to like get this. If this was like there's like
heavy lift,
yeah, like a 100-person team like behind it, it's like you can feel that. And that's what I love about what we're like cooking is that you can feel kind of how much we love it.
Exactly. I'm having such, and it's so much fun, and we're just having a ton of fun with it. And that said, if people have ideas for us, I want to hear them because I think if you see a trend that you think we would have fun doing, if you have ideas, plays on words, things that we could do that would kind of really play into the WordPress idea, not just TikTok idea, but kind of marriage of the two, whisper them in my ear and I'll pretend to Darian that was my idea. No, not really. I'll be like, oh, so-and-so had an idea we can share. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And if you have an opportunity to kind of get on there, I'm going to pull it up again here, get on there and take a look at it. I suggest you do because you might think it's silly. That's fine. You might think I'm silly. That's fine too. But honestly, we're just having fun with it. And at the bottom of it, it's all about the WordPress community. It really, really is. And centered around the software and the open source project that we love so much. Absolutely.
I couldn't have put it better. I don't think. I probably would have put it worse. It really. I urge anybody who is like hesitant about the TikTok of it all to just download the app and check us out. And I think that it's a great place to. It's a very fun, very non-judgmental sort of platform. I feel like by and large, I think that there's a lot of very fun corners and communities, and I would urge anybody who wants to start their own channel. There's ask us for tips. You can message me personally. I can send you some tips that I've gathered. There's a lot of good subreddits, but I think that the best way, if you're on the fence about it, is just to start posting. End all your videos with the hashtag of the name of your channel. Post every day. It's not, and the rest is gravy.
I amended the banner. So not only does it say tiktok.com/@WordPress, like and comment. We want you to like and I've never said that before. Like and comment because that's what helps the algorithm. Also, if you like the stuff we're doing, like and comment it because that will help us keep doing what we're doing.
Please boost engagement if you have it in your hearts to
smash that like button.
Yeah, please find it in your hearts to smash that like button.
Do we smash? I don't know.
I have such. I think that like I have such grand plans for this channel. I think we both have like this sort of vision of like this, WordPress TikTok universe where like and I think it's sort of starting to happen where it's like we're interacting with each other in the comments. When it's the WordPress handle, it's usually me. And
when it's me, it's me.
If you can believe that. And and we'll kind of like we'll be messaging, like commenting replying to each other, which I think is really fun. And I think that, it's worth the follow because I think we're going to branch into some longer series, some more multi-part stuff. we're definitely gonna hit WordCamp US like no
Oh
other.
yeah.
I mean,
We're
I'm
already
gonna be
starting
with
the
you.
planning for that one.
I know I'm not gonna be like behind my screens. I'm gonna be on site with you, so it's gonna be
I
so
know. You're
fun.
gonna have to keep up with. Can wear your sneakers because my scooter goes really fast.
Oh damn! it's I think we will probably be filming our the first time that we get to meet in person, so that'll be a very dramatic moment on the page.
And then somebody will have not had this the phone on, and we'll have to recreate it as though it were happening. I'm kidding. We'll get it right the first time.
I'm down for like 6 takes of a hug. I mean,
I'm good with hugging. Yeah.
And I have to say, like, go live. That's another tip. Go live. And Michelle, really, more flowers to you. Did this just great live that was, and I didn't like say this is how you do a TikTok live. Not that I know the secret, but of the WordCamp Europe vendor hall, and it was so it checked all the boxes for a live because Michelle is going around interacting with each booth, getting hellos from everybody, plugging the handle, and like it's like so watchable. And I think that anybody who's like scrolling and would be like, "What's going on? Who are what are these booths?" It was like basically just this great tour, and we cut it into like a speed, like a super cut that's on our page too. And I just flowers you for that because it was like a textbook TikTok live, and
it's so fun.
So I would urge anybody who's looking to like crack the algo to take advantage of the live tools as well, because the algorithm rewards you for that. And it was like we got like 300 people watched you going around the sponsor hall because it was so entertaining, and everyone. And this is why you're so great for this. One of the many reasons is like everyone is like coming to Michelle. It's like
everybody knows me. Yeah.
Like it's like the best. And I feel like we're so lucky because not only are you like the best to work with, but like
thank you.
Everyone stands. So like
it was so much fun. It was just so much fun. So I posted that video, the one that you created from that, the whatever you just called it, I can't remember now. Like, but
no, I'm not using like official terms. I'm like making them, like,
where it's like it speeds up through and whatever. And then Bernard, what's his last name? Meyer, I think. I posted that one to Twitter today, and he responds, "Why am I always dancing?" And I'm like, I love it. So people are looking at them, they're watching them, they're looking for themselves in the video. That like, hey, see if you see yourself. Somebody commented like, "I'm at 21 seconds," kind of thing, and I was like, that's so fun. Yeah, so much fun.
And what do you think, like, Michelle? Do you think we should maybe reveal who's going to be on our page tomorrow? Because
I really want to. I want to talk about how that happened.
I think let's do it. Like, guys, like, drum roll, please. Like,
so WordCamp was almost over. The only thing left was the after party. So we had just gotten out of the Q&A with Matt and Mary. We had found out that we were going to be in Krakow next year, and there was only one bathroom in the entire facility of the accessible bathrooms that had a lock on it, because apparently there's something in Europe that you have to apply for a radar lock so that you can use handicapped accessible bathrooms. And so every time I went to the bathroom until I discovered this one, I'd be like, somebody come guard the door, because I don't want to feel like somebody's going to walk in on me every time. So I tell you that because I had to go from like the top floor all the way to the E floor, whatever that means, like below one, all the way to the back corner. And I'm in my scooter and I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom soon because I've been holding this camera for an hour and a half. And on my way towards that corner, who do I see coming out of this hallway but Matt Mullenweg? And I said, "Hey, Matt, it's good to see you." We chatted for a minute. I told him I was working at Automatic now as a contract. He had no idea. I was like, I teased him like, "But you signed the document." Obviously, whatever. But he signed my contract. But I said, "Hey, would you be willing to do like a 30-second TikTok video for us?" He's like, "Well, I've never done a TikTok video before." I'm like, I'm not going to ask you any questions. Just say what you want to say. Welcome people to our TikTok channel and welcome them to WordPress. And, he looked great. He had a nice sweater on, the whole 9 yards. And so I started it. I pointed to him and he just went into full on, like, it was perfect. One take and it was done. And so tomorrow you will all see that. I hope we're going to pin that to the channel as well. It's a super awesome, like, welcome to our channel video from Matt Mullenweg himself. So then I go to the bathroom. Literally, I didn't tell you this part. Like, I go in the bathroom, I lock the door. I'm literally still sitting on my scooter. Like, my hands are shaking and I'm like sending it to Darian. I'm like, please upload right now. Look what I just got. Like, I hadn't even washed, like, I haven't even used the bathroom yet. I'm just in there with the door closed, like, telling you, guess what I just got, and uploaded to you. And I think your response was like, OMG. How did you do that?
I was fully, I was beside myself. I am beside myself. I mean, listen, something I love about us, like, I'm matching your energy, right? I'm like, I'm here for it. And I really, it made my weekend. I mean, I'm like, I'm running, I rush out of my room, I'm like running to my husband, I'm like, look, we did it. We got him. We got Matt. We got Matt on main. Like, Matt's going to be on the grid, guys. Like, we got the big one. Like,
he even starts it by saying, like, this is my first TikTok video on purpose. Like, I don't even know what that means, but it was
like some sort of coded, like, it's like cryptic, but it's so great. And I mean, Michelle, like, I never stop giving you props, like, that you just, like, have the wherewithal, like, you just have the first of all, the clout, and also the gumption to just be like, hey, like, that's so me. And that, like, just, that is exactly what I want this account to be, which is just like, it's like, right, direct to exact. We're giving people what they want. We're giving the people what they want. And, like,
it's so fun.
It's great. And it's like, there's no, like, sound effects, like, pew, 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 it's just from that. And so we love to see it. It's like,
we have to make sure the captions are spelled right so that there are no mistakes on that video at
all. His name, I definitely botched it. It's definitely Wang at the end. My casting tool, like, did me dirty yet again.
Always gonna be fun.
Good. So watch this space. And yeah, I mean, the long and short of it is we're posting daily indefinitely. So anytime you check out the page, there's going to be something.
And it'll be slightly unhinged, and that'll be fun.
I think so. And
it's just a blast. Absolutely.
It's the best. And now that we got Matt, I'm like, who's next? Like,
I know. I'm like, I mean, I went to the top first. I don't know who else we ask now, but we could get Mary on there. She used to work for TikTok.
We could definitely get Mary. I think, yeah, it would be cool. Maybe we could get, like, the Squarespace and Wix guys. Like, maybe we could get all the different CMSs together at, like, around to, like, a red table talk.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But
you're real.
Keep it real. That's right. It is. I mean, the big thing is it's just a lot of fun that we are really kind of exposing the community to the community, because if you only work or know your local community, this gives you an opportunity to see a little bit more of the global community, but not like in those really highly edited videos that you see on YouTube and things like that, and there's nothing wrong with those, but this lets you see, like, what's really happening, man on the street kind of stuff, or woman on the street kind of stuff as we go. So that's what's a ton of fun with it.
Yeah, we were on the pulse.
Yeah, well, I mean, it helps that I'm slightly unhinged and fearless, of course, but having a lot of fun with things. I wasn't going to jump in the Rhine. Apparently people swim to work in the Rhine. I wasn't going to do that, but anything short of that, we're good. So
yeah, I think if we hit 10,000 followers, we'll jump in the Rhine. How about that? If we hit 10,000 followers, end of year.
Okay.
We'll book it back to Switzerland, and I'm jumping in. So if we hit 10,000, like, I'm in.
Yeah. Or I live near Niagara Falls. We could go over in a barrel. I'm just saying.
We could barrel it. I live by the East River. That's pretty gross. Famously,
Let's not do that.
the gross river. But if
Yeah.
we hit 10K EOY East River for Darian, you have my word.
Do you know what I heard today, Darian? Is that they're starting to pull together a team to do WordCamp New York City again next year in 2026. So that's another opportunity for you and me to be in the same space, creating together.
Welcome to my kingdom.
Right? It'll be awesome.
I'm like, bring the horse to the water, whatever they say.
Yeah,
but that would be great. I mean,
so much fun.
The WordCamp of it, the WordCamp factor is like such a nice thing because it allows us to like content capture in such a sweet way. And
absolutely.
So I think those will definitely be like tent poles of the channel. But aside from that, it's basically just us like coming up with
on the fly. Well, and now that we've been through one, we can actually plan a little bit better for the next couple, and just kind of refine our process. It'll still be the same unhinged, fun on the street stuff, but we'll actually have a plan behind it going forward.
Yeah, well, what I will say, like, I think we had concepts of a plan. But what I will say is, you have to be registered. So there's certain like goalposts to go live, and so it's like be registered as a business or have 1,000 followers. We're just shy right now. I have to say we're
climbing.
There's a couple, but otherwise it's like TikTok won't let you. I did not realize that we could until you were in the air. So that was it was a beautiful Hail Mary of a thing where we like totally, I mean, it was awesome.
And what's beautiful about it too is that like, while you were still sleeping here because I was 6 hours ahead, Nick Rasmussen was awake in Australia. Is that where he is? And or New Zealand, I can't remember now. He's over in that part of the world, and he and I are talking to get me online to be able to do the live because I hadn't logged into the account yet to make sure that we could do all those things. And so I was getting feedback from around the world from this global team, which made it so much easier to move forward and not be like calling you like, wake up, I need help.
No, it was amazing. It was like Hanukkah morning. I just woke up to this live, and it was like it was the Matt Fireside, which was a physical journey for your arms.
I mean, I have made a list of things to bring to WordCamp US already.
Yeah, that one. But the one that was just the vendor hall was so. I just woke up to like Brett McSherry messaging me being like, "You have to see, like, this was great," and I was like, "Oh my god, this is." I'm just like waking up. I'm like, "What?" I'm just like sitting there, with phone boots to my face. I'm like,
"Oh right, it was Brett, not Nick." I work with 2 teams over there. I named the wrong person. Right, Brett. Brett was the one who's helping me. Sorry, Brett.
No, man. He'll get over it. But and I'm just like, this is the best. Like I just woke up to this like amazing content, and so the best.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So just keep your eyes on that channel because you never know. We never know what's going to come next because we're still creating it as we go. It's a little bit like when I was in my MBA program, they used to say this thing, and other people probably heard it, but I hadn't. Building the plane while we fly it. Kind of thing. That's kind of what we're doing a little bit at the beginning here, but we're very quickly finding our groove and having not only just creating really what I think is really good content, but having fun doing it, which actually makes things better. If you enjoy what you're doing, the content reflects that, and I think that makes it even better.
So. Yeah, well, absolutely, and I think that there's definitely intention, and there's definitely like a vision, and I think that we have this vision of this hub of community, this hub of entertainment around this CMS and around web building and just around, I don't want to be too broad strokes with it all, but I met Matt in like my first week. I was so green behind the ears and I'm wet behind the ears. I'm new. I'm a new matician.
Yeah.
I'm a new matician, and I'm doing my 2 weeks of support rotation. And I'm onboarding and all those things. And it's Matt's birthday, and they're celebrating at the office in New York City. So
Oh yeah.
I'm like I should my team lead's like, go down there. So I meet Matt and I'm like, I'm basically being like, listen, I'm gonna, start running some TikToks for us. And I was saying to him how like the disparity of internet fluency and social media fluency for like Gen Z and lower is huge. And I think that like that really resonates with me, like trying to get Gen Z and younger to like be interested or like inspired about like UX and UI and WordPress.
Right.
And I think that it's like such an opportunity and like we want to meet them where they live, And I know that sounds so like basic to be like, and it's on TikTok, but I think it's a great way to like reach new people and entertain the OGs.
And because of this, my 76-year-old mother is now following us on TikTok as well because she wants to see what I'm doing. So there you go.
We got Mama Frechette in the chat. Big. We're getting a howdy from Matt, and we're getting a howdy for Mom, and then we're viral. I think that's.
I mean, we've pretty much run the gamut. My daughter's like, whatever, but she's your age. My daughter's like, yeah, whatever, Mom. Whatever. She once called me WP Madonna, the Purple Ambition Tour, when I had purple hair, because she didn't believe that people actually knew who I was until she went to WordCamp Europe in Athens with me. Now she believes, she still doesn't care, but whatever. So, it's all fun. It's all fun. We're going to wrap this up. It's been almost an hour. I do want to say next week, join us. I'm going to have a conversation with Say Reed and some of the people from the WP Community Collective, which if you've been paying attention, last year, GoDaddy gave WP Community Collective almost $500,000 to be able to support different factions of what's happening in the community, as well as underrepresented speakers, speakers, organizers, and some of the different things that are happening in the community, like making sure that there's accessibility. And they funded Alex Stein from a perspective of looking at WordPress from a accessibility standpoint. It's getting long. I'm still jet lagged. All the words aren't coming, but so next week will be that conversation. They were also part of the FAIR plan, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit too, which came out over the weekend during WordCamp Europe as well. So lots of things happening, but we'll be talking to WP Community Collective next week.
I mean, Michelle, we could do another hour and get into the FAIR stuff if you want.
I mean, let's wait. But Darian, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's always fun when you and I get a chance to chat together. Hang on while we so that you and I can have just a word after we stop being live. And to everybody in the comments and who's watching today, thank you. We really appreciate hanging in there with us while we just gushed about this whole fun project together.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you so much, Michelle, for having me. Thank you so much, and hope you come back.
This is my favorite comment ever. June says, "My cheeks hurt from laughing." Me too, June. I'm starting to get that little I smile too much. My face hurts.
This was the
All right. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you.